Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Chaos Live. I'm still in a hotel here in Texas for a couple more days, and then it's back to Colorado. So I figured before I head back to Colorado to get my normal scenery back, I figured it'd be fun to do one more Chaos Live from here inside of Texas, as long as the internet holds up okay. I'm using the hotel's kind of shady Wi-Fi that they have, and sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. So I apologize if the quality of the live stream starts getting really crappy or something. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we'll be okay and everything will work out. All right. Ooh, man, this is tiny chat on my little screen here. Normally I have a much larger setup going on, and it's a little bit easier to do it with. But we'll try to make this work and everything. But Brock, thank you. What's up? Thank you for being one of the first ones, or for being actually probably the first one possibly into the stream, as well as HD Shrimp. Looks like it says. What's happening? And Rafael Acosta. We also got Paul. Texas almost as fun as Colorado. Yeah, definitely not. So maybe there's a lot of cool things to do in Texas. I'm just not very familiar with the area, so I don't want to get lost and get crazy and stuff. But San Antonio and Austin seem pretty cool, but I'm used to Colorado, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to Colorado. So that'll be awesome. Do you have anything planned for 10,000 subs? We're getting close. We're right down there. We're getting so close to 10,000 subscribers. It'd be cool if during this live stream I hit 10,000, but it'll probably end up happening maybe over the night or sometime tomorrow, early tomorrow, I'm guessing. But I'm really excited for it. Now, I do have something planned for 10,000 subs. I'm going to do a cool little fun giveaway. The plan is that I'm going to get 2 ammo cans. And the ammo cans will have the Chaos sticker on the front of it. And inside the ammo can is going to be just some miscellaneous stuff. It's kind of like a mystery Chaos can. I'm going to kind of call it, I guess. But inside the ammo can will have some cool miscellaneous stuff inside there. Military related, army related, Chaos related, whatever. And it'll be inside the can. And I'll probably do 2 giveaways for that for 10,000 subs. So I will do probably a live giveaway. I'm sorry. I had hot wings for lunch, or for dinner. Sorry. So I'll do 2 giveaways. One of the giveaways will be probably for you awesome people in the chat. So I'll do like a live stream, kind of special live stream for that giveaway, and some random person inside the chat will be selected, and I'll give away that can to them and send it off to them. And then I'll do some kind of other special giveaway for the second can. Maybe do something like where you share one of my videos, and I'll randomly select somebody that shared one of my videos on social media, either on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and one of those people will win that second can, as long as it's not the same person. It can't be the same person. But so I do have something planned. Hopefully it works out pretty cool and everything. So Bit Expert, what's happening? Coming back to the live streams. Awesome. Thanks for coming back. We got Silver, right? Looks like what's happening. T-Dog, what's up? We got Raphael, already said it. What's the chaplain's aid do? Hayden, right? Sorry, the text is really small on my little laptop here for the chat. Normally I have it on a much bigger screen. But what does the chaplain's assistant do? I don't know all of it. I know usually a lot of times the chaplain's assistant is just kind of assisting, like in the title, but so help to set up for like prayer stuff that they do. It's just kind of like the assistant to the chaplain. I'm trying to think of a good example of some of the duties the chaplain's assistant does. Sometimes the chaplain's driver, so that's one thing usually the chaplain assistant will do, is will be the driver for the chaplain. But it's tags around with the chaplain, helping do little tasks here and there. I don't really have any good examples because I don't know a whole lot about it, and I've met a couple of chaplain's assistants, and most of the time they're usually either driving around the chaplain, or they're kind of helping to get information out to soldiers about like when church services are going to be, especially like when you're out in the field, and if the chaplain's going to do some church services out in the field, then where they can locate that at and things like that. I don't really have a whole lot of info on that because I don't know a real lot about it, but that's some of the basics of it really. Did you try Coca-Cola soda? I did. So I don't have anymore. I don't have the bottle anymore. We were in Walmart, and they had some in Walmart, and I was asking David if you saw the last live stream. David, who went with me to San Antonio, and we did stuff in Austin and everything too. And I was asking him, I was like, do we have this in Colorado? And he said, yeah, but you have to go to like one of the Mexican stores and the Hispanic stores in Colorado to be able to get it. So I was like, well, they have it here at this Walmart, so I'll go ahead and grab one. So I grabbed one. I had it with dinner on Tuesday, I think it was. I didn't notice much of a difference. I don't know if I didn't get a good one or what the deal was, but it didn't seem like it tasted any different than normal Coca-Cola, so I'm not 100% sure if I got the right one or if it just was my taste buds, I guess. Call me Ralph? All right, I will call you Ralph then. Should I join the National Guard? That's up to you. The National Guard does a lot of like disaster relief type of stuff. So if you're not really that interested in doing like, I mean, sometimes you can still do like war related things, but a lot of times National Guard will do things like if they have to do things like hurricane relief or earthquakes or stuff that in the United States, National Guard does a lot of that stuff. They don't do as much of like the Afghanistan, Iraq, or anything, that kind of stuff as much as like active duty Army does. So it just depends on what exactly you're looking to do and all that kind of stuff. I failed my ASVAB a week ago. You can retake it. You can take it as many times because people will do it where they take the ASVAB and they may pass, but they don't get a high enough score to get the MOS that they wanted. So they'll retake it and take it again so they can score a high enough score to get the MOS they're looking for. So you can always just retake the ASVAB and do it again and keep trying until you get the score that you want for the MOS that you want or whatever it is that you're looking for and all that stuff. What's up? The darkest, what is it? Bronco Gaming. How's it going? Welcome to Chaos Live. Lauren says, what advice do you have for young soldiers leaving the Army, like leaving to get out of the Army? What advice do you have for young soldiers leaving the Army? So if you're talking about leaving the Army, make sure, do everything you can before you get out to try to build a good resume, put in resumes, and know what you kind of want to do when you get out. Have some kind of plan. Plan to either go to college so you can still receive some money to help you, keep on, stay on your feet, and then also get the education at the same time because you'll get that BAH from going to school full time. So that helps. Or try to go to job fairs. My experience though with job fairs, a lot of times they just give you information about how to go to their website and apply online. Sometimes you can make good connections, but all the job fairs I ever went to were just trying to help you connect with people and telling you how to like apply online for jobs. But try to do your best to try to line up the careers you want to do. Have some kind of plan to go to school, hopefully, maybe. If you don't already have like a job lined up, if you already have a job lined up and you're not that interested in school, then that's cool. But if you don't have a job lined up, then definitely maybe start considering maybe looking into a school that you want to go to so that you can start using your GI Bill. If you have gotten your VA stuff, that's another thing. If you're looking to get out, make sure you get all your medical records straight. Make sure anything that you are injured, you've acquired since you've been in the Army, if your knees bother you, your elbow bothers you, whatever it is, get that stuff documented by the medics. So that way when you get out, you can go through the VA. You'll go through the process as you're getting out to go through the VA and get all that stuff claimed. And you want to make sure everything gets claimed because then later on in life, if that stuff starts bothering you worse, maybe they don't give you a rating for, say, your elbow hurting you. But later in life, it does start bothering you more. They see that you already had it documented from while you were in the military. And if it got worse, then they take care of you for that kind of stuff. So make sure you get all that stuff straight the best that you can. So, crap, I got a little bit behind on the chat. Hopefully, let me come back to here. Sorry, normally I have multiple screens to go through this stuff. You guys are very talkative, which is awesome. I love it, but I got a little bit behind on the chat on my normal viewer that I have. Paul, I failed mine the first time. Don't worry, take it again. Yeah, definitely just take it again. That works. What time do you have to run the 2 mile in to max it out? That really just depends on your age. There's different standard for men, different standard for women, and different standard for each age group. So you can Google it online if you want. You can Google, PT scorecard or PT requirements. I don't know. I'm trying to think how the best way to word it, but you'll probably be able to find it for the Army PT standards. And there's different standards for each age range. and you can see this little chart that says, okay, if you're a male between this age and this age, then this is your 60%, this is your 80%, this is your 100% to max it out. So that really just depends on your age and stuff for what it is to max the 2-mile run. But I think most commonly it's somewhere around like maybe 11 minutes, 11, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. I think it is for a 2-mile run. I'm not 100% sure on that though, but it's easy to look up. Ralph, me too, bro. A month ago, I've been studying hardcore. They have a lot of good study guides. I have a thing now that I qualified to do Amazon, kind of like Amazon Associates. I was doing Amazon Associates before, but I didn't get to like my own storefront until recently. But if you go to my the channel, the main page of my YouTube channel, there's a little link for an Amazon Associates thing for Amazon store, and inside there's a good study guide that you can get off of Amazon for fairly cheap that helps you study for the ASVAB. And if you want to check it out, you can look at a couple pages. I think you can get a sample and you can see a few of the pages and see if it's something worthwhile. But it seems like a really good study guide to really help people out if you were trying to study to do really well in the ASVAB. Maybe check that out if you were interested in doing that. Need to wait till the 24th, and I'm hoping to get 11 X-ray. Cool. Good luck to you. If your infantry is what you're looking for, then that should be pretty good. What was your most memorable moment in the Army, other than getting out of the Army? No. I think becoming a non-commissioned officer. It was pretty cool. I was pretty excited about that. You know, you get more leadership responsibility and more, you know, people look at you differently, and now you're you have to lead soldiers. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I think that was probably the most memorable, was becoming a non-commissioned officer. I want to get 11 Bravo so bad. Good luck to you. If you're into all that kind of stuff, you're basically doing a lot of training. That's a lot what 11 Bravos do, is they do a lot of training because they don't really have a job really necessarily unless you go and deploy. So when you're not deploying, you're either doing some kind of training to stay, you know, current with tactics and how to do all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of crazy work, especially with airborne, and you're doing all those airborne jumps and all sorts of craziness. What do you get on your ASVAB score the first time? I don't remember what mine was. I goofed off on mine. I took my ASVAB while I was in high school. At the time, I wasn't sure about joining the military, so what I did was I went ahead and signed up to take the ASVAB because it got me out of class, and I kind of like, if I knew the answer pretty well, then I went ahead and answered it. But if it was something I was struggling with for too long, I didn't really sit there and try to figure it out, especially when it came to math. So it wasn't that great of an ASVAB score. It's kind of maybe near the average-ish or a little bit below the average-ish because I kind of goofed off on it because I was really just doing it to get out of class. And it scored me well enough to get me into the Army. And the only thing that prevented me really from doing the job that I wanted to do was I'm partially colorblind, so they wouldn't let me be a mechanic. So I had no need to want to do it again or anything. So is eczema that is cleared up at the age of 14 disqualifying want to be an 11 Bravo? I don't think they care about eczema, because eczema is just a skin condition, right? Where you just, I don't think it actually affects you physically, but I don't know. I'm not, I don't know. I'm not up on my medical stuff. But doesn't eczema just give you a little bit of a skin condition and stuff? It doesn't really, if it doesn't affect you physically, they probably won't care. Because I want to say I remember seeing some people in the Army with eczema, and they did fine. Hayden says, talk to your recruiter. Always, like, I try to give like the best advice that I know from experience, both being in the military and now working with the military and everything. But always just take my information as a good guide, a reference or whatever. But to really nail in and confirm stuff, make sure you always talk to a recruiter. A recruiter will be able to give you the most current information on anything and really be able to let you know for sure what, something qualifies you for or doesn't qualify you for, and what you can get away with and what you can't get away with and all that stuff like that. But as a good guidance, I can help you out with stuff. But those are the people that really kind of confirm the stuff because they're up to date on all the new stuff. So I got a 36 on practice one. There was problems that I didn't know. That's how I was too. I just kind of skipped some of the stuff. So it was interesting. My recruiter said I can't do it more than 3 times. That might be true. I have no idea. I didn't know there was a limit. So if the recruiter tells you you can't do it more than 3 times, then that's probably it though. But I wasn't aware that there was a limit. So yeah, I'd recommend definitely studying, like I said, on that little link that I have on my main channel. If you check it out later, there's a link to a book on Amazon for studying for the ASVAB, and you can do that. You can go to like Barnes and Noble and do usually I think they have like ASVAB for like dummies and stuff. I'll prove this one. Apparently YouTube didn't like who was it? Somebody cussing. I forget where it was. Ralph, I think it was maybe. But it's fine. I don't mind you cussing. But it made me lose my place. Where are we at here? Okay. So, oh no, it was Hayden. Hayden saying that last section with the shapes messed him up. I did the PG version. But that's obviously not what Hayden put in the comments, and Google was not a fan of using the F-bomb, man. I got the question all the time from soldiers leaving. I normally say go to college. That's what I did. Yeah, definitely good advice, Lauren. I say that yeah, go to college if you don't have a job lined up already, and college is really the best thing to do. And make sure you get all your medical stuff in order. But yeah, tutor me. Yeah, I would do horrible. I would not be a very. If you're talking to me to tutor you, or you're talking to somebody else in there, if you're talking to me, you don't want me tutoring you for the ASVAB. It'd be horrible. I'd probably set you up for failure. You always help me with Army-related things, so thank you. Thank you. Because of you, I was able to talk to a veteran soldier like I was a member. Awesome. I'm glad to help out. And that's always my goal with these videos, is to either help people who are either interested in joining the Army or the military even, or even just people who have a curiosity about it, want to know a little bit more about it, so they can talk to, their friends or people they meet there in the Army, and maybe have at least a little bit of understanding of what the heck they're talking about. And that's always the idea. I want to work on a little bit more stuff that helps out active duty soldiers currently. There's a few things here and there, like the airborne stuff and special forces, that can help those people out to give them a good idea of what to maybe expect possibly. But I would like to at some point work on a little bit more content for those people. But right now, I definitely love that, some of you guys who are thinking about joining the military or just have an interest in it are able to get good information from my videos, and that's awesome. That's always the good goal, is to help you and entertain you. Really, that's what I love. I love entertaining. It's fun to do, and if you guys get entertainment out of it and education even out of it, then it's awesome. Greetings from Louisiana. What's up, Harvey? Hey Chris, do you know anything about Army waivers or military waivers? Coming from Light. Some stuff. I mean, I don't know like everything. A recruiter always has the best knowledge, but depending on what it is you're looking to get a waiver for, just kind of depends on the severity of it. You're not going to get a waiver for a felony. Certain like minor drugs, like they're already given waivers for, people who have used marijuana in the past and may have used it recently before going to MEPS, but it's kind of with the understanding that you're not going to use marijuana anymore, and certain other things. Sometimes you can get waivers for minor medical conditions if they're not really going to interfere with your job. Sometimes age ones, sometimes different things here and there. It just sometimes depends. So I may know a little bit about some of the stuff, but if I don't, then a recruiter, well, even if some things that I do know about, a recruiter is always the best person to talk to you about waivers, to make sure that you can get something that you're looking to do or whatever. How do you have to be a part of the giveaway? Oh, for the 10,000? So it'll just be the 2 ways for the giveaway. When I do the giveaway, if you happen to join in live for the live stream for Chaos Live, I'll probably title that live stream something like 10,000 sub giveaway, and then we'll do it or something. I don't know how I'll title it, but it'll be in an upcoming. There's a couple things I still have to set up before I do the giveaway. I need to set up a PO box, and I also need to get all the stuff that I'm going to put inside this ammo can. So once I have that, then I'll go ahead and do the giveaway. Hopefully that'll be soon, within the next 2 weeks, 1 week. I don't know. Hopefully it'll be. The goal is it'll be in May. It'll be this month that I'll do the giveaway. But yeah, so either join the live stream, and randomly someone who is in the chat in the live stream will end up getting one of the ammo cans that contains all the miscellaneous military related content. And then the second can, if you didn't win from that, you missed the live stream, you just didn't win from the live chat, then the second can will go to someone who shares one of my videos, any video they want off my channel. They'll share it. I'll have like more details once I figure it out, but it'll probably be something where you share my video, tag me in it, either on my Facebook page for Christopher Chaos or my Twitter, if you're sharing the video on Twitter, and then randomly I'll somehow figure out a way to randomly select it. Usually, like some of my tools that I use have like random people selector things, so probably maybe use that. And randomly I'll select somebody, or I might even do it where you share one of my videos, and whoever can get the most likes on their post on Facebook. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out a little bit better, but it'll be one of those two ways where I'll do that for the cool ammo can. Let's see. Hey Chris, I'm having a kid with my ex and she's 12 weeks. Do I have to tell my recruiter? You don't have to. I would say for the purpose of, well, it probably won't really matter until after the baby's born, but you can receive like a little bit of extra pay because you have a dependent for like separation or BAH or whatever, and a lot of it depends on how that's going to work with the custody. Sometimes that may matter, come into play for your duty station, where you get assigned. If you're trying to get somewhere nearby so you can see the child and everything like that, then that could come into play. So I would bring it up. That way things like that can get worked out. That way if you need to work out, to be able to try to hopefully get assigned somewhere nearby, or if the child's going to be living with you part of the time, then you can be what's called like a geographical bachelor, and you don't have to live in the barracks. You can live off post, so that way you can have your child come spend the weekends with you, because the child can't spend the weekends with you like in the barracks. So for those purposes, I would bring it up so they can go over some of the details of how that's going to kind of work a little bit. Hey, just watched your video about ribbons. Do all the ribbons have a metal equivalent, or is it just some of them have metals? Yeah, it's only really some of them that have a metal equivalent. Really, most of them have a metal equivalent, and then there's only a few that don't have metal. It's just simply a ribbon. So, for example, the Army service ribbon, like I talked about in the video, doesn't have a metal. It's just a little service ribbon. So, but there's not a lot of those. I think most of them, I would say probably like 98, 99% of the metals out there have a metal and a ribbon, and only maybe a very small percentage have only a ribbon without a metal. So, are you talking about, or will I get kicked? You talking about were you talking about the child, right? You won't get kicked if you have a child and stuff. No, there's several people in the military that have, things don't work out with the mother, and you have a child and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of logistical stuff along with that. This chat keeps on getting all crazy. You guys are very active in the chat, so it's awesome. But I'm trying to keep up with you guys. I don't want to. If I miss some of your guys' chat things because I accidentally skipped it, I apologize. If you check out like the post after it was live streamed, you can always leave chat or leave comments and questions in the comment section of the video after it was live as well, and I try to usually answer stuff. What's up, Jay the Vorn? How's it going? I am well. If you wouldn't have joined the Army, what job would you have done, or would you have joined a different branch? I originally tried to join the Air Force, but I was originally interested in doing auto mechanics, so I figured the Army would be better for that, which I didn't end up doing auto mechanics. But I think if I didn't join the Army in the military, I would have ended up probably going to, what was it, UTI, was it? I figured there's a really cool automotive college in Arizona that I probably would have tried to go to, and been a mechanic, which I'm kind of glad. I don't think I really have the patience to be a mechanic, but that's probably what I would have tried to do, is try to become a mechanic, an auto mechanic. And then who knows, I may not have discovered the interest for creating video stuff, and I may have never done my YouTube channel, never done any of my video projects I've done, like my documentaries or music videos or anything like that. And who knows how different things could have turned out to do. I read something about either I marry or give her full custody. No, just because you're in the military, you don't have to choose one or the other. If you have some kind of custody agreement with the ex, that you're going to get weekends or whatever it is, right, with the child, if you are nearby. That's kind of the hard part, is if you're going to get stationed somewhere that's really far away, then you don't have much of a choice with that. But if you get stationed somewhere nearby and you're allowed to have, some visitation stuff, you don't have to either marry her or give her full custody. That's not true. You don't have to do that. You have options. You have a lot of options, so you should be okay. But a lot of it just comes down to if you are able to get stationed nearby, though, to be able to do stuff. Is it hard to get special forces because my brother is able to get special forces as a 35 Foxtrot for getting the highest score on all the tests? It's just really applying for it. I mean, it's hard to get in the special forces, yes. It's not easy for a reason, because they're not an easy group to do their job. So you won't be a 35 Foxtrot in the special forces. You're going to be one of the special forces ones, but active duty people or even people coming into the military, into the Army, can put in to go to special forces, and that's pretty easy to get to go. But whether or not you complete it and pass and get selected is another thing. So doing special forces is very hard, but the ability to try to get selected is usually fairly easy to get to. It's usually they just let you do it. You're like, yeah, sure, you're interested in joining special forces? Cool. We'll put you in the group, and you'll try to go through the school and go to SFAS and all that stuff. And if you pass it, then cool. If not, then we're sending you back to your unit. Or if you came in the Army that way, then they're going to send you to another unit, the first unit. Do active duty content. I would watch the crap out of those videos. Yeah, I'm going to try to do active duty content. I just got to figure out something that'd be more good suitable for people who are already in the Army to help soldiers out. I can't really, I probably wouldn't be able to very good at it. I'd say I could do some kind of comedy stuff that's, soldiers could relate to, but I don't think I'd be very good at that. But I'm going to work on that. Things that could either help soldiers who are already in the Army with stuff, or there was a few videos I did with like news kind of a thing. So I would find out about like new things happening in the Army. Like for example, with the new PT test, with the new replacement for the 9mm pistol, changes to the GI Bill. And so I did some kind of like news related videos, and those are kind of helpful for people who are already in the military, and also good for people who are just curious about the Army. So I need to do more of those, and I think those would be at least somewheres in there. So I'll work on some more of those. Hey Chris, are the Army Corps of Engineers part of the U.S. Army, or are they civilian that work with the U.S. Army? They are military. Yeah, they're Army guys and girls and stuff like that that do engineer work. So they do a lot of stuff that you would think a contractor or a civilian would do, but those are actual soldiers. Do you hate stolen valor? Yeah, I mean, obviously. And I don't have a super strong opinion, but yeah, I think it's weird for someone to fake being in the Army or fake being in the Marines or whatever case they're doing. It's not right. There's people that go through. Some people were wearing things like a Purple Heart. Saying that they were in war and everything like that, and all that stuff like that, and they weren't even actually in the Army and stuff. But that's a little bit different kind of thing. So I'm not a fan. Hey Chris, hope you had a good day. I know when you go to the Marine BC and when you get out and want to go to the Army, you didn't have to do BCT, but does your rank transfer too? Not you're talking about, so if you're transferring, like say from the Marines to the Army or whatever kind of a thing, does your rank transfer over? And that's sometimes not. I've heard of a lot of cases where, I think someone was talking about it the other day, where they were going to go from the Army to the Marines, and he was a E5 in the Army, but the Marines were going to have him come in as an E3 or something like that. So not always the case. Heads up, man, I'm at work, so excuse me if I'm not very active in the comments today. That's fine. You can just watch my hand movements and talk with my hands and all that fun stuff. If you're not able to, participate, then that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm just happy people are here and being awesome right now and answering questions or asking questions and all that fun stuff. Can you get station of choice in your contract? Sometimes. That's kind of a hard thing to do sometimes, is to get a station of choice in your contract, but it's possible. It's difficult, I would definitely say. You got me for they got me for thoracic. Okay, yeah, spine curvature. It's minor, one number off the standard. It never bothers me. What do you think my chances of getting a waiver for that? I think it sounds like maybe pretty good, but like I said, a recruiter would give you the best answer. But it sounds like if it's something that's only one number off the standard, they might waive it. They might have you do some, you know, other physical stuff to confirm it, but I'm not 100% sure. I would think that you probably could get a medical waiver for it, but I don't know for sure. Well, I hope you win the can. I love your channel. Good luck to you. Maybe if it's something that's really cool and people want to do some kind of cool, I know, chaos can purchase thing. I don't know. Maybe we can do something like that after the giveaway. We'll see. We'll see how that kind of goes. What if I'm doing 11 X-ray? Will I have to choose another job? Are you talking about for special forces? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm sorry I'm so behind on the comments here. I also see some awesome person did a super chat. I'm going to get to you, awesome person, here pretty soon. So I'm not sure what you're talking about with the choosing another job. Can't remember if you were talking about the special forces thing or what you were talking about, or I don't remember. Yeah, I might have to refresh my memory. If you see Silvertails55 follow you on Twitter, that will be me. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mr. Mysterious. That's very mysterious of you. You are awesome, and I thank you for the super chat. You rule. I need some kind of cool perk. I had some. Oh, you know what? I don't think it did it. It's a funny thing. I have it set up, right, to where at my house, I think I had it to where if I got a super chat, it was going to blink the lights down in my basement because I have those Philips Hues lights. I wonder if when awesome person Mr. Mysterious did the $1 super chat, if back in Colorado it made my lights blink. That'd be pretty funny, especially like if Jesse and Jesse's mom is visiting in town too, was down in the basement and all of a sudden the lights started doing some crazy stuff. That'd be pretty hilarious. I'm gonna have to ask her later if the lights blinked down in the basement. So possibly, awesome person Mr. Mysterious for the awesome super chat may have made the lights blink down in my basement, and Jesse's probably trying to figure out what the hell is going on with these lights. But I think I have it set up so that way when I'm doing my normal thing that I do back in Colorado with these live streams, then the lights would change and blink and do really cool stuff. So I need some kind of cool perks for that kind of thing to recognize you awesome people for doing very nice things like that. Hey Chris, how do squads for fire teams getting their designation? Example, one squad is called 11 Kilo and another maybe 64 Juliet. So you're talking about how they get their call signs? Usually it's like a preset thing that usually like the first sergeant establishes. So if you're talking about like how each fire team, like say like a squad and an infantry unit, what their call sign, if there's gonna be Ghost 3 and I don't know, Bulldog 7 or whatever. Well, not Bulldog 7. It's usually it would be a first sergeant for the number 7, but that's probably something I should probably address in a video one day too. Is call sign stuff. How you can sometimes tell the rank of the person based on their call sign. But those kind of things, usually the first sergeant or somebody, the company commander or somebody is going to pre-establish those. Sometimes they'll let the platoons give the names too, but somebody usually just kind of assigns those, and it's usually based on the platoon. So a lot of times you have a platoon that has a name. Maybe they're Chaos, for example, right? So you may have, Chaos 1, Chaos 2, Chaos 3, and Chaos 4 for the 4 different squads. Sometimes it works that way, sometimes different little ways like that where it'll work. Is it possible to be a Marine Corps and then transfer to become U.S. Army? Sometimes yes. I can't remember right now if the Army, because right now it's a little bit different than like when I first joined. When I first joined, they were a little bit more lenient and letting people come from other branches because they really needed people because you had the Iraq War going on and everything like that. Now it's not really as heavily requested, so they're a little more pickier with things. A good example, like, well, I'll come back to even more with the transferring, but another good example is you would have soldiers like when I was in who would get DUIs and they would just get busted down in rank. Where now the Army is not so tight on needing soldiers, You get a DUI, you're probably going to get kicked out of the Army. So they're a little bit more, strict with things. So they may not, with that being said, they may not take prior service people because they don't want people getting confused and people being, used to it one way, say in the Marines, and then come to the Army and now having to learn how to do things a whole different way. So sometimes they don't do that kind of stuff where they will allow it. A lot of times it just depends. It also may depend on the MOS. If you're trying to come into an MOS where they need people, then they might be a little more lenient and be like, okay, cool, you can come on over. But a lot of times it just depends. A video idea, brother. Home of record for soldiers. I don't know what you do. Because, I mean, you have a home of, so for anybody who doesn't know, home of record is like where you're from kind of a thing. Usually you have to put it on your home of record for kind of like a, I don't know how to explain it best, a fallback of, where to send your stuff, or where you're from, sometimes for tax purposes, for a lot of reasons and stuff. I don't know what I would do with a whole video though, talking about home of record though. Hey Chris, I'm done with the Army, going Coast Guard. Awesome. That should be pretty cool. If you don't get seasick. I would totally get seasick. I would not be able to do Coast Guard stuff. So more props to you. I think I would probably get too sick on those boats and all that kind of fun stuff. But that's awesome. I know a couple people that do, do some time in the Army and then they go reserve to finish up some time to try to get keep those benefits for longer without making a full commitment to being in the Army. In your case, going Coast Guard, so that's pretty cool. Awesome. Have you ever roasted someone for stolen valor, or stealing your valor? So you're talking about if I ever saw somebody with stolen valor or anything like that? No, I don't think I've ever seen anybody. I always question people on the sides of the streets that say they're a veteran. So the thing with that, I was explaining that to a friend the other day, where asking me what I think about those the veterans on the side of the street that are begging for money. He said there was a guy who was missing a leg or missing both of his legs or something, asking for money, saying he was a combat veteran and needed money and stuff like that. And the thing with that, if he lost his leg, say because of a war injury, he's going to get a lot of money from the VA. He's getting monthly checks for the rest of his life. He's probably getting 100%. So that's probably a couple $1,000s for the rest of his life every month. So he's getting that and a lot of other benefits, plus with the VA healthcare and everything like that. So then you're like, well, if he's getting a couple $1,000s a month, why is he homeless? I mean, sure, that's not going to afford you to maybe buy a house or anything like that, but that should allow you to still, be able to get food, maybe occasionally stay in a hotel. I don't know. It kind of depends how you manage things. If you don't have a job, it's not enough to completely live off of, but it's definitely enough to feed you. And then the second thing is well, if that person's gotten a felony, then they lose all those benefits. So that's always a chance too. So one, maybe that person either wasn't really in the military, or two, they were in the military and they lost all their benefits because they committed a felony. So that's what I was telling that person. It's kind of a crazy situation. So I'm always kind of skeptical sometimes about people I see on the side of the streets begging for money that say they're veterans. I mean, I'm not saying that they're all lying. There's definitely cases where people are really just hard on times and different situations have come about that led them to that. But I'm always kind of well, there's a lot of ifs with that a lot of times, and so I'm always kind of skeptical with that kind of stuff sometimes. Have you ever heard that 70% of Americans' youth are not eligible for the military? I don't know. I've never heard what the percentage is. I mean, like I said, right now we're in a time where the military in general is a little bit more strict with people coming to the Army. We're back in say the early 2000s, mid 2000s even. They were a little more lenient because they needed more people because we were very busy with the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan. But because we're not currently involved with the conflict, they're a little more strict with it to kind of make sure that you get legit people to be soldiers and Marines and airmen and all that stuff. So I guess I could see it maybe because they're a little more strict with some of that stuff. But I live in, was it Waxa? I have no idea how to pronounce the name of that city, man. We live in Texas. I wish you visited here. Sorry, I wasn't so I really only had a free time really Saturday and Sunday of last weekend. A little bit of time in the evening kind of ish when I was last week. This week I had no free time. I really only got off work an hour ago. Got back to the hotel, got some Domino's wings, had that for dinner, and then I got on here to do the live stream because I wanted to do a live stream today. So I really didn't have any time this week because I was doing 12-hour shifts for this week and then leave on Saturday. So I'm not here for much longer. But at some point in time, I think it'd be so cool to do some kind of like meetup type of things with, some of you amazing people, go somewheres and do something fun and do something cool and have meetups and stuff like that. But the audience just isn't quite there yet to make it that cool. But really, I guess in the long run, it would still be pretty awesome if it was even like one or two people. I mean, that wouldn't really matter. But I kind of feel like I should make it worthwhile if it's going to be some people coming out here to meet up with me or something like that. Do something really awesome with like a group of people. I think that'd be pretty cool. But at some point, hopefully we get there, and I can do something like that with some of you amazing people. How much did it cost for your computer setup? For my main computer setup, it's probably a little over, maybe like 1,400, something like that, which is actually pretty cheap for what it can do. But that's because I knew somebody who builds computers, and if you can get somebody, or somebody, or either if you know somebody or you know how to build computers, that's really the best way to do it, because you can build it for a lot cheaper than what you would normally buy it for. Because like my computer, if I had bought it from somewhere, it'd probably be easily like $3,000 or something, right? Where just in parts and having a friend put it together for me only cost me just the parts, and in parts it was only maybe like 1,500-ish or so. But it's a pretty high-speed computer, fairly decent, ish. It's not the top of the line, but it can do quite a bit of stuff. But in parts, probably something like that. 1,300, 1,500, somewhere around there. What other MOSs were you qualified for? I got pretty crummy ones. Originally, they tried offering me bath and laundry specialist, which I'm not trying to knock anybody who does it. I just was not interested in doing that. They essentially set up portable showers and portable laundry facilities, like either in Iraq, Afghanistan, in the field, so that soldiers can utilize the showers and get clean laundry and all that kind of stuff. It just wasn't something I wanted to do. I don't knock anybody who does it. You're still doing a hell of a job, but it's not something I want to do. Another job I remember they tried to get me to do was a seamstress, and it was basically, I don't even know if it's still an MOS anymore, but it was basically repairing tents. You're doing tent repair. So any kind of like military tents that need to be repaired, you would repair the tents. And all that kind of stuff. And then 88 Mike, which is what I ended up doing for transportation. So I was like, I'd rather just do transportation. But the goal was I was going to just only do that for like 4 years, get out and go to college. And 4 years ended up being more like 10 years. So it ended up being a lot longer than I originally anticipated. Hey Chris, talked to a person who tried to join the Navy but was denied because they said the Navy was broke. Can this happen? No, because if the Navy was broke, so would the Marines, and so would the Air Force, and so would the Army, because it all comes from the same funds from the government. So it's probably not because they were broke. It probably just they weren't taking that person for whatever reason, kind of a thing. But yeah, the Navy wouldn't be broke and not taking new recruits or whatever, because if that was the case, it would apply to the military wide, and that is not true. If you ever want to follow me on Twitter, I won't say no to one of my favorite YouTubers. Well, thank you. And for that reason, I will follow you back. In fact, I think I have an alert right now. So you know what? Right now, I'm going to follow you back right now because that's cool. So I've followed you back. I'm sorry, I don't actually use Twitter a whole lot though, but I need to get more active with it. Ralph, you rule. So I'm going to have to check with my girlfriend, because you may have made the lights just blink like crazy down in my basement, if that whole setup actually works of doing that. But thank you very much. You're awesome. You rock. I really appreciate it. You're awesome. So thank you, Ralph Acosta, for the awesome donation in the super chat. I meant to send 99 cents. What is it? What does it say? Oops, I meant to send $99. You don't want to send me $99. Keep your $99. You don't even have to send me 99 cents. That's why I failed the ASVAB. Well, crap. The chat gets all crazy. So I'm trying to use the... I know it's a meme, though. What am I... The thing? Oh, yeah. It's funny. I've seen like some failed ones. There's like some failed stuff of like some people watching a YouTube live stream, and they meant to donate something like, they're like young kids or something like that watching like some gamer, and they meant to donate like $10, and they accidentally did $10,000, and it's like their parents' credit card. And they're like, oh crap, and they're like freaking out and everything. And I think you can like contest. I've never done a super chat, so I don't really know how it works really. I appreciate any super chat. You don't have to do it. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me, but it's pretty cool. Especially, it's pretty funny if it's making the lights blink back in Colorado. But I think you can. I think you can like take the money back or like cancel it. I don't know how it works. How many of your other family members joined the military other than your niece? None. It was just me and my niece. Me and my niece joined the Air Force. For anybody who hasn't heard that, it was just me and my niece, the only ones that joined the military. Maybe farther back in my family, I think my grandfather might have been in the Navy. Well, I guess there's a few more farther back relatives. My uncle, he was in the Army for a short time. I think only for like 4 years or something. I think my grandfather was in the Navy on my dad's side. I don't think on my mom's side anybody. Maybe my uncle. I want to say I thought I heard stories about my uncle being in the Navy, but I don't really know a whole lot. I don't know. I'd have to look a little more into it. If they don't really, my family doesn't really talk about it much, so it might not have been for very long if I had other family members in the military. But I know as far as like younger ones, closer to my age or whatever, just me and my niece, the only ones. Brother and sister didn't do the military or anything like that. The movie In the Army Now is still one of my favorite movies. I found out in '99 when I enlisted that some things in it are not accurate. It's still a funny movie. Yeah, I love it. It's a hilarious movie. Still pretty funny. My dude, you were awesome. Well, you were awesome, man. Thanks for following me on Twitter. Hey, I think I'm caught up to the chat. I think I finally got caught up in that. Now I can switch back over probably to the main screen and easily see how everything's working. But you guys are awesome. I love it. I love you guys' interaction and hanging out with you guys and being able to answer questions and stuff like that. We've even gone up a couple of subscribers, I think. I think I was at 85, wasn't I? I think I was at 85 when I first started this. So I jumped up 2. I don't know if those 2 people are here in the live chat and in the live thing and everything, but if so, you rock. You're awesome. Thank you. I don't remember if was there any other topics. 10,000 subs is the main one. We're very close to it. I think maybe tomorrow. I think it predicts Saturday that I'll hit it, but I'm thinking tomorrow. I think it'll end up hitting it. Maybe even over the night. I don't know. We'll see when it ends up kind of hitting that. I don't remember what I was going to talk about with Texas, but Texas is pretty cool. I don't hate it. I wouldn't want to live here. I don't think. I like Colorado, but I don't hate it here either. So if that's worth anything, I would come back. I thought about doing something where maybe I come back and go to, because you can do cheap flights through Frontier, and I can easily probably do some kind of like cheap flight from Colorado Springs to like San Antonio and come back and do something here. I think even Austin. I think Austin's on the list for cheap flights through Frontier. I can always come back and do something. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll come back and in the future and we'll plan some kind of fun meetup thing where maybe we all go to Peter Piper Pizza. I don't know. I'll throw a pizza party for any subscribers that want to come hang out with me at Peter Piper Pizza. I don't know. It was by the way, it was okay pizza. I know there's some people like I did a vlog with me and David going to Peter Piper Pizza down in San Antonio. I didn't hate the pizza, but it wasn't like the best pizza I ever had. It tasted like Chuck E. Cheese pizza or I don't know or something like that. I don't know. But maybe that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. Maybe later on I'll come back and come to San Antonio, and anybody who wants to meet up with me at Peter Piper Pizza, I'll treat you guys to pizza. As long as it's not a crap ton. I mean, if I get too popular and we're talking about thousands of people or even hundreds of people, that might get expensive with pizza. But if it's like a little handful of people that want to come hang out and eat Peter Piper Pizza, I'd be cool with that. We'll see. Were any of your relatives in the army too? Which I think we talked about that one. But yeah, I think my uncle was, and I think two of my uncles were my grandfather. At least some of my family joined the military, and I was nervous that they would hate me since I thought I couldn't join, but because of you, I feel better about my chances now. Thanks. Well, thank you. Yeah, definitely sit down and talk to a recruiter. They usually try everything they can to try to get you in the Army. It's not like back in the day where they had a quota they had to meet and they would, pressure you into joining even if you didn't want to join and do everything they could to try to meet that quota. It's not like that anymore. They don't have those quotas anymore. So now they're just a little bit more helpful. They're not so, crazy about, that horror stories of the past of lying to the people to try to get them to join, where now it's just, hey, if you want to join, I'm going to tell you the truth, kind of a thing. Well, they might tell you everything. They might leave out the bad stuff, but it's a little bit easier now. Well, not in some cases. Were you ever near death when you were deployed? Not that I can think of. I really got fairly lucky, I would say, while I was deployed. I only really had a couple of little things happen here and there. There was, a couple times with mortars landing on the base, none that were actually that close to me. One time where we were going down a road, and there was somebody shooting at some soldiers on the roof of the building, so that you could see the tracer rounds going over our heads, but they weren't actually aiming for us. They were aiming at the soldiers that were on top of the building. But not really, not that I can think of. Some scary times in an airplane because they do some crazy maneuvers and stuff like that to make sure to avoid any possibility of an RPG or anything. So when you go to land in Baghdad or anywhere else, they usually come down quick to land to get out of the sky. And same with takeoff. Takeoff is really quick taking off so they can get out of, that way it's harder if there was somebody targeting with them with an RPG or a rocket or something. So I thought I was going to die a couple times like that with the airplane rides, but that's fine. So I can't think of anything that was really anything crazy. A person I went through basic training with actually had a brother who was a staff sergeant in the same company that was training us. That'd be pretty weird. I think that'd be pretty crazy to have a relative as one of the drill sergeants or something. That would be pretty crazy. Shooting ranges are awesome in Texas. You can shoot in the desert to practice. There was somebody, I think one of the soldiers this week or last week, that was talking about a pretty cool range nearby where they do some pretty cool stuff, and the guy has a flamethrower and stuff too. Because I was talking about how in Colorado there's a place called Dragon Man's, and they do some really cool gun shows, and the guy has a flamethrower. I think they were talking about that, how that cool that would be. But yeah, sounds pretty cool. It's kind of a fun thing to do. We would have the best pizza party. It would be cool. I would buy the tokens for all the games. We didn't get a chance to play any games. I know in the vlog, if you watch the vlog, in the vlog we said we were going to play some games. I was kind of interested in checking out that Jurassic Park game and the Walking Dead game, but we didn't end up playing any games. We wanted to get over to Alamo and go check that stuff out, which the Alamo ended up being packed. But we still had a lot of fun. Tomorrow we have a little bit of free time, but we're going to have to stick to local because we're not going to have access to the rental car. So we're going to have to kind of stick locally for the little bit of free time that we have tomorrow before we go back to Colorado on Saturday. So, but it was fun. I had a good time here. It was fun going down to Austin. A little bit of Austin that we did. And San Antonio was pretty cool, so I liked it. If I had money, I would donate, but I'm broke until Sunday. Sorry, Chris. It's not a big deal. You don't have to. I would say don't do super chats, but if you want to do them, I won't stop you from doing them. But the main goal with my channel and everything like that, I'm not trying to make it rich off of it. It would be nice to make enough to where I don't have to do a day job, obviously, and I just did this because it'd be fun, but it's not a priority for me. I just like creating the videos because that's what I'm into doing. I was making these videos on this channel even when there was only 5 people watching my videos, and which wasn't even that long ago. It was only in October of last year that there started being more awesome people watching my stuff. But before October of last year, there was a lot of videos that were only getting 5 views, and I still did it because it was fun to do, and I liked entertaining those 5 people, even the small number of people. So you don't have to donate. I don't care. The big thing I care about is that you're entertained, and hopefully you're entertained. Then I'm happy. I'm happy they're entertained, and that's my goal with all these videos is just to simply entertain people, not to be rich, not to be famous, entertain people. That's the goal. And hopefully build like a cool community. It would be cool to build a cool community of you guys that are interested in this stuff and maybe joining the Army, or maybe we're in the Army, or whatever the case might be, and just have this cool community of people that are able to, you know, interact with each other, watching my videos and answering questions and doing all sorts of cool stuff. Maybe even pizza parties. Who knows? I don't know. So it's cool though. Where did I leave off? You should start a Twitch account. I thought about it. I'm always skeptical about doing a Twitch account because I always see a lot of those Twitch fails videos of like people doing crazy. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I would do on Twitch. If I did gaming, it'd be cool, but I don't think I play video games enough. I have another gaming channel on YouTube, and I haven't done anything with it in a while now. I don't play video games, I don't think, enough to make it that good and entertaining to do stuff on Twitch. And I don't know what else. I mean, I know Twitch isn't all about gaming. There's other people that do other stuff on Twitch, but I don't know what I would do on Twitch that I don't do already here. I don't know if I would be able to build. I'm pretty lucky to have this big of an audience that I got down there. I don't know if I could do that on Twitch. Who knows though? What's your favorite story that you always tell people about your experience in the Army? I don't know. I don't know if I have any kind of. I guess I have a video on it somewhere deep in my videos where I talk about my basic training, being one of the first classes that didn't train like 11 series, because Fort Benning for a while was only training infantrymen, and then they switched to doing other MOSs, and my class was one of those first ones that started switching to do other MOSs, and they didn't feel that we were hardcore enough to deserve to be called like the Mad Dogs or anything cool like that, so we had to be called the Goldfish. There's a video on my channel that explains the story a little bit in depth, but I think that's probably the story I usually like to tell people, is about how in basic training I was the Goldfish because our drill sergeants didn't feel because we weren't 11 Bravos and 11 Charlies and all that stuff, we weren't deserving of a hardcore name. Tell them that recruiters don't necessarily lie. There's just some things they don't tell you. CQ, staff duty, KP details. Yeah, they don't tell you about that stuff. I should do a video about that. That's probably what I should do. Things that the recruiter won't tell you about. Things like CQ and KP duty. Who knows? That might be actually. I know KP duty. I thought about doing a video talking about that, but I don't think it'd work very well as an entire video. Maybe I'd have to like tie it in with CQ and staff duty and other horrible details like mowing lawns, because that is the thing sometimes you get stuck doing. You get stuck mowing lawns. Not as much anymore because now they start contracting out to civilians, but before a little bit more common. Peace, Chris. I have to go. I have a good one. Go Cowboys. However, oh crap, my chat got all crazy on me. However, pass my next test. Oh, hopefully I pass my next test. Yes. Good luck to you. Let me know how it goes. Love to hear an update on how everything goes. I don't know about Go Cowboys, but sure. I'm sort of a Raiders fan, but I don't really follow football well enough to even really talk football too well with people. Have you ever flown in a Black Hawk before? I have not. The only helicopter I have flown in was it's a Cessna. It's the one with the double blades and the big door on the back. I did it in the National Training Center in California. They needed some people to go on a ride just for the hell of it, I guess, for the pilot to get some training or to get some flight time or something. I don't know what the deal was, but rode in that. They left the door open. They were doing the map of the Earth kind of a ride where they're following the terrain. I started getting pretty sick, but I didn't throw up. That's the only helicopter I've ever flown in. Several planes, but only one Cessna ever I've been in. I'm only 15. Can I still talk to an Air Force recruiter? You can, just for the purpose of asking questions, but you're still a ways away, and a lot of things could very easily change between 15 and you turning 18. So that's probably what a recruiter is going to tell you, is they can give you a breakdown of how things are currently and current standards and requirements to do this and do that. But there's a very good chance that between you being now 15 to when you turn 18 and can join the Air Force, things will change, and those standards may have, been modified a little bit or changed a little bit or whatever. But they would still talk to you. I don't see why they wouldn't talk to you. But like I said, there's a good chance things would change between now and then. So you would still have to come back again at a later point to kind of get more updates and see what you qualify to do. I don't think they would give you the ASVAB at 15. I don't know. I think usually they want you to be like 17 before they even let you take the ASVAB, but I'm not sure on that. Or an Osprey. Yeah, no, the only helicopter was the Cessna. Knights Templar, what's happening? Actually made it. Cool. How's it going? Is it true Fort Benning has closed showers? We were talking, it's funny, we were talking about that the other day was it on the live stream, wasn't it? Yeah, it was on the live stream. So when I went to Fort Benning, the showers really just had a small concrete divider that was about waist high. No curtain or anything around you or anything like that. And I want to say that David was saying when he went through basic training, or he went through OSIT, but when he went through Fort Benning, they had concrete walls. They were, I think, all the way up, but there's no shower curtain. So if you were walking through the middle of it, you'd be able to still see everybody, but you can't actually see the person to the left and right of you. You probably see the person behind you because it's probably like that. It's probably like shower here, shower there, and then in between them is some concrete divider kind of a thing. But they're fairly open, yes. So if you're a really shy person, you got to try to work on getting over that. Because when you go to basic, you're not gonna get your privacy with showering. You're not gonna get your privacy with showering until maybe AIT, but some AITs may be kind of very similar to how basic is. So yeah, and then Jay the Vorn saying that showers at basic training will vary from battalion to battalion. Don't expect closed showers though. Don't worry about if you get over it quickly. Yeah, you get kind of everybody's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to be showering. Well, not everybody wants to be showering together, but yeah, everybody's uncomfortable. You're not the only one, that's going through it and dealing with that. These Q&As are dope. Do more. Thank you. I try to do them weekly. Sometimes it doesn't always happen that way because I get too busy, but I like to at least try to do at least one per week, and that's always usually the goal, is to try to do one. Excuse me. Just found your Insta? Yes. Thank you. A lot of times my stuff from Instagram gets transferred over to Twitter anyways. So a lot of stuff that I post on Instagram also gets posted to Twitter. But I need to be more active on that stuff anyways. I don't know. I don't feel like a lot of people really use Twitter as much as they use like Instagram. So I usually do more on Instagram. And then some stuff to my Facebook page too. Everything that I always do is always the tag name, and we already have it up this way. I think it's up this way. Can't see anything. Let me see the other screen. Up that way. These are all of my tag names. ThatChrisChaos is usually what I use for everything. For Twitter, for Instagram, Facebook. If you go to facebook.com/ThatChrisChaos, I'm pretty sure that's my Facebook page that I have. And then Snapchat. I think that's what the Snapchat name is, but I don't really use Snapchat very often anymore either, since you can kind of do a lot of the same stuff with Instagram. So usually that's the handle I try to stick to, is ThatChrisChaos, and try to make it kind of the same for everything. Let's see, was there any topics I missed? I don't think so. That was basically the bulk of the topics. So maybe a question or two more, and we're going to cut this off because pretty soon I got to go to bed because I got to get up in the morning, do one more shift before we head back to Colorado. So Chris, I made a discussion on joining the military. What are you talking about? You made a discussion on joining the military. I don't know what you're talking about. You made like I don't know. You're gonna have to elaborate a little bit better on that. As to the showers and basic, wash your junk and get out. Yeah, you don't have, especially because you don't have a lot of time too, but also it's very uncomfortable being in there, so you have to get the hell out of there. Have you ever played Fortnite? I have not. I understand it's very similar to PlayerUnknown or PUBG, but I have not. I've seen videos of it. It looks alright. It looks kind of cool, but I have not played it yet. Mainly if I'm probably streaming, it's probably going to be PUBG, maybe a few other games. I don't know. I don't know what I would do for streaming wise, but wouldn't see it very often because I like video games. Video games are fun and everything like that, but I don't actually play them as often as maybe I want to. or that would be really good for like a streaming channel. So I don't know. My real name is Dylan, just so you know. Awesome. Well, thank you, Dylan. My real name is Chris. That part of my name is real. Obviously, my real last name is not Chaos, but Christopher Chaos sounds a lot cooler. Not that I'm ashamed of my name or anything. Knight Templar, you're leaving South Africa. Good luck to you. That's awesome. I'm joining the Navy after the summer, and I meant decision. Oh, okay, decision. Joining the Navy after the summer. Okay, awesome. So you're joining the. I thought you were. Didn't I don't remember. I remember now. I thought you were joining the Army now. I thought you were joining that. But Navy's still pretty cool. I know someone in the Navy, and she gets to see some pretty awesome stuff. If you're doing stuff on a boat, I always see stuff from her Instagram of different locations and stuff like that she's stopped at and doing awesome stuff. So that's pretty cool. I don't think that'll be a bad decision. Good night. Was it Dylan, right? Yes. By the way, I'm horrible with names, so don't expect me to remember it. I apologize if I don't remember that your name is Dylan. There's a very good chance I will forget it. I'm awful with names. Love these. Can't wait for the next one. Thank you. So I think on that note, I think we're going to probably go ahead and cut this. We're probably at a little over an hour, and usually I try to stick to these to being about an hour long. But I thank you guys very much for coming and hanging out for another episode of Chaos Live. The next Chaos Live, I should be at 10,000 subscribers unless something goes horribly wrong. But if everything goes as planned, next Chaos Live I'll be over 10,000. So maybe at that one I'll be able to talk a little bit more about the giveaway. I don't know if I'll have the giveaway set up just yet by next week, but maybe the next one, I don't know. Like I said, there's a couple things that have to fall into place. I have to get a P.O. box to be able to do it, and then I have to get the contents for that. And then with that being said, with the P.O. box, I will probably post in the descriptions of my videos maybe the P.O. box. So if you wanted to send me like a letter, you wanted to send me even a letter from basic training, say you're joining the military or even Air Force, whatever it is, and you want to send me a letter from there, cool. I will try my best to write you back. I have horrible handwriting, so don't be surprised if I type it out and then print that and send it to you. It's nothing personal. My handwriting sucks, and you might not be able to read it if I handwrite a letter to you. So, yeah. So maybe we'll get it hashed out a little bit better. But thank you so much, everybody who came and hung out for Chaos Live from Texas for one more Chaos Live before I head back to Colorado and all that stuff. So if you're watching this after it was recorded and you still had some questions, or even if I accidentally missed your question, you had something that I didn't answer, just make sure to leave your question down in the comments down below, and I'll try to get to them as well. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, you should probably subscribe, be a part of the awesome people that are in my journey up to 10,000 subscribers and beyond, hopefully. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. See ya. I don't have my fancy little button thing to click, so I have to manually click it. Takes a little bit longer. All right, see you guys.